Aria for three.
And we are back in live, 2025 Whakatane January Touch Tournament, 37th rendition. It's been a wonderful day so far, 6 games through, 7 up, 1 PM game open men's. Full circle, local squad against last year's winners, 2024 winners, Pearl Jam. Looking forward to this one, to see what shape Pearl Jam is actually in. And I'm lucky enough once again to be joined in the box with Mr. McIntyre. Rocking and ready to call this one, Pete?
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty excited about seeing Pearl Jam on the big stage. You know, they're playing a local team, Full Circle. Ricky Horlock's proud and proud to have been a part of the setup of Full Circle. So he brings his, I suppose, legendary coaching prowess and knowledge back to the Whakatane where he's from. Obviously big task on hand today coming against Pearl Jam, who's a very slick outfit.
Yeah, absolutely, and our referees to get this one here underway, Sonny Whakaro, Jimmy Wang and Eamon Rimene. Looking forward to how they judge this game. I'm expecting, the previous games have been quite physical up to now, so I won't be expecting anything different, I guess, out of this game, to be honest. And just while we go into the break, just a shout out again to our sponsors, the Whakatane Ōhope Community Board, Lion Foundation and One Foundation. Great to have them on board with us, and our roading construction guys working diligently outside Clearsite Consultancy. Glad to have them on board. But yeah, as we were talking, local team, Full Circle, as you say, Ricky Horlock been at the front of that. Just looking down the team sheet on them, Lacey Tuhaka, a name from a while ago, played in through the age grades in New Zealand, very good on his feet, and likewise Maxwell Wharuera, nice rangy link. He's always there in and around, and if Pearl Jam don't take care of him, he will use those long levers to do a bit of damage. And I guess in terms of Pearl Jam, Macca, who should we keep an eye on?
Well, I
there?
think you can't go past Danyon. Danyon's a primary ball player. You know, if he gets a good platform, he's got something to work off. Nate Rolliston with his speed. But I tell you who's quite deceptive is Lewis Nicol. He's got deceptive skill and release, so he's a threat. I think the biggest threat will be their system and their continuous system that they will run. They've got a bit of firepower across the board, but they play at quite a high level in terms of intensity. So we'll see how we go there. And I think if I look at the Full Circle side, this is a game, Whakatane is a tournament where you can get an upset. As long as they stay in the grind and that they're doing their basic fundamentals, which is ruck, pass, catch, then they're in it. Like hopefully Ricky's versed them on their defensive prowess, but they've got to have that ruck, pass, catch mentality and turn it into an arm wrestle in terms of backwards and forwards and controlling tempo, because Pearl Jam will bring tempo.
Oh, absolutely, and as I said earlier, it's a 25-minute rush. It's just a single half, so there's not a lot of time for you, to sit back on your laurels or to worry about any errors you make. So the best way to deal with that is to not make them. So it'll be intense as we get through, as we see Full Circle starting off. Lacey Tuhaka on the ball. Pearl Jam working hard, lifting up out of that middle zone. Daniel puts it on. Unfortunately, just got his foot caught in the ruck there.
Good contact at touch, but I just think his footwork, if he just sorts that out, he actually had good energy there as well.
Yeah, Nate Rollinson for Pearl Jam there at length. It's pretty hard to get to the outside of him. You really do have to shift him a lot earlier than that.
Great lift from Nate there, and all that does is make them step back and go to a balanced middle. So you'll find that the system from Pearl Jam will be their link wing lift and the continuous of that.
As you said, Pete, about their work real quick, bring the intensity and a lot, very, very fast through the field. Just to give themselves all the options that they need on the back end of it.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there on that final platform, and they just lost a ruck, lost a half, and just a little bit of comms there. But good for our local boys, full circle. They just need to stay in this and make sure they're completing their sets and getting their opportunities down the other end. 5
East found the hole. Pearl Jam closed that down pretty quick.
Interesting, they'll take it to a foot race, especially off a narrow transition like that. If I could say anything, it would be opening up that middle so that you've got a defined gate. So if it does go to a foot race, you've got an opportunity to latch in late there on. Yeah,
pretty hard to foot race. The Urban Burgess boys, they're quite they're quite quick. So they did a good job to open and close it.
Still, every opportunity, every no finish there gives them a bit of credibility in terms of, they're still in this. So, like 2 arms, 2 legs, that's the mentality.
Let's see how they can transition through there.
Great exit defence, though, that Pearl Jam will put on, So if you're looking at the wins in this one, Pearl Jam would be happy with what they and to keep them within the half. So that's the objective. Your exit defence, you want to ensure that they don't get back end platform and keeping them within their half. So that's really good.
Yeah, Joel Foster, coach of Pearl Jam, I guess that'll be the first tip he'll have. There was a great defensive transition for Pearl Jam there.
Danyon on the ball now, so let's see. They just got to find that range that they're not closing it to give themselves opportunity to release.
Just a bit unfortunate there, went over the outside line, but Dan Nickel getting about his work, creating space.
That's an interesting rod, that one they played there. They play a 32 ruck, but they give it to the short side link, and he gets that link caught tight, and then they play that 2V. It's actually a 2V. It's not very defined, but when it's going against the grain, it can work.
Managed to pinch that one there, Pearl Jam.
Yeah, and I talked about the grind. I think if they've got to have a chance here, they've got to ensure that they take it to a grind and they don't get caught with the Pearl Jam defence or defences, just locking them in their half, not giving them opportunity.
Yeah, it's been a pretty sloppy transition from Pearl Jam. Coach Foster wouldn't be happy, I guess, with that one there. It's a great opportunity.
Here's the ball player, and I talked about him earlier. He's very deceptive with what he brings. Well, I'd have to agree with that. This floated forward, that just looked forward to me. Like we've got lines there, so that was quite an obvious one. So I think with full circle, they just need to sort out their, making sure they're being penetrating in a gate rather than attacking a point defender. At this time, they seem to be always going on a point defender and getting, just as I talked about, and getting caught high and losing that ruck rod.
Yeah. It looks like Full Circle has pulled Pearl Jam into a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment, which is interesting. Pearl Jam typically they'll start pretty hard and hot. It hasn't transpired in this case, which is full marks to Full Circle for diffusing that. So I imagine they'll up the speed a little bit, up the ante, Pearl Jam. Having said that, put the curse on them and Full Circle step up and take it away.
If I had to say anything for Full Circle, I'd say they're exiting to their box quite early. I'd go and get the middle and make sure they got penetration at the middle before they head towards their box.
Yeah, that was a good pickup from the sideline ref there. Sonny Whakatane, the ball was definitely forward. He was passing that ball off to Ōhope over the hill there.
It's pretty forward, about as forward as you can get there. But anyway, at least they got out on that one, Rod. I think urgency on the full circle turnover gave them the opportunity. I think Pearl Jam just need to sort out their platforms, open up a bit of range and put some intensity on what they're trying to achieve here. You know, not take it for granted that it's just going to happen.
Daniel puts it on you with the gas. He's through the hole. Can he finish? Couldn't quite offload it. What do the refs say there? Well, do we have a hold?
Yeah, with the short in goals, it actually works against your power pickers. They're quite, they're like 3 metres, right? It's at best. So, you know, like if you're going to that short side and you're chucking a good mirror, as long as they're not chucking a screen on you, you know, you've got a good opportunity to run them down. Good lift from number 7 there. Great lift, great defence, great link defence. Nate Rolliston, renowned for his sweep dive. Oh, there we go, and I talked about it. The smooth hand. I talked about the smooth hand, and he's got a very good eye for finding mismatches, has Lewis, and good on him, you know. Very, very, very adept at finding space and mismatches. Well done.
Yep, high touch IQ. Is that Lewis Nickel? And it is one of his favourite plays where he will step back and have a quick look to see where the hole is and release. So he likes to pop the ball over quite often. Pearl Jam middles working really, really hard here. Nice lift.
Nice lift. Nice lift. Nice lift in the lane. Good ref call though. You know, he's in the lane and he's certainly made a play at it.
3 brothers on at the moment for Pearl Jam.
And very, very good. I can't say enough about them. The physicality, their willingness to improve their IQ in the game. Like that was a great touch and profile there, and great hold by the link there. That's good in every aspect. The middle stayed square. I really like it when they go and get the middle rod and they penetrate that middle. Like there's 2 good ones. There's 2 good where the Pearl Jam just need to realise that you are going to get push and stuff. Just discipline.
This is a bit more used to what we've seen.
And they get the outcome back in. You know, good stuff.
Jackson Ephraim's just searching, but it comes off the back of a good build-up, some nice speed through the middle.
Yeah. I think those 2 first touches were really good for them, for Pearl Jam, and gives them transition and back end. So for all the bidding coaches out there, if you can get good setup on 1-2, it'll set you up for transition and you have a rolling back end.
Looking for you to go long on it. No, he's down.
Not bad though, you didn't get a big lift from the outside there, so he had an opportunity.
Toby Snellgrove.
So just for our people at home, when they're setting up our rucks, we define them by middles and link rucks, or 33 and 32 rucks, and it just defines a part of the field. And here we go again, and it's that man again, Rod.
he hides it really well, which is the part of the game that I liked. He hides his true intentions.
Yeah.
But he does find a result more often than not.
Yeah, and look at it. It's actually beautiful to watch. You know, we talk about touch IQ and having the ability to see things people can't. He certainly has the ability. You know, skill set. I think that's an area he can work on. But percentage-wise, when he's pulling those off and he's 2 for 2, you know, you've got to give credit where credit's due. Full circle running a 33 ruck passive. I think with their passive, if they're running a true passive, they need to get it where the ball beats the player, rather than it's a half passive and you still got it having to put some effort around it.
The ball is always going to beat the man, so you're always better to have the man in the right position to start with, and then use the ball to beat him. So
yeah. You know, good intent. They just need to get a little bit accurate on their shape and setup. And as we say that, Pearl Jam come through the field. They're starting to put the screws on now. It's amazing what a couple of tries do for a team. Just, you know, and I don't want to call it confidence, but it just gives them the ability to free up some of the stuff that they have got and get to consistency.
Yep, another repeat for Caro, just driving the ship around at the moment. Devin Burgess on the slide. Oh, I think he got him on that one.
And got him. Beautiful as he comes on the sweep, how he holds on the body. So he holds on the body and guides the body to a position where then the range of his dive is just down. And we watch how he comes onto the body here, holds on the body, bang, down. Yeah. So really, really good. Quite a technical aspect of the game that, you know, our primary attackers need to learn.
Let's see, Pearl Jam 3, full
Nice dummy
circle.
half. Picked up from dummy half there, just, you know, a bit of a head rush there, you know, like. So let's see what Pearl Jam, they'll just get to that system where they get the middle first, tie it up. Now they're just running back to their process.
12 minutes in, Pearl Jam 3-0 up. Certainly in control in every means at the moment. Full circle can't quite find the answer as we see Putsarangi pick and move through a hole there.
Yeah, I just thought his supporting line of his, I think that was his brother there, he just needed to hold that range. You know, he didn't really need to move forward there, and it would have made it a cleaner pass because Daniel was doing all the work on the inside. Just, you know, just some youth stuff coming in there, but, you know, he's playing open men, so it's all learning, and he's in our New Zealand youth system, so, you know, that's going to be a level above this, so, yeah, it's great to see.
Easy read from Rollison there, just held, picked it off.
I think full circle are playing to the 7. I think I'd play out of transition to build that 3-4 to get a tense intensity and then just do something off the back end rather than giving Pearl Jam the opportunity to get a set defence.
Yeah, which is always the issue when the attackers always want to attack on the 7, yet the defensive side, that's what they've trained for week in, week out.
Yeah, and it gives them time to set their defence, Rod. So I think if the 3-4 can be a little bit more and have a little bit more intent, they're going to get a better back end, whether that be a power pick or even just a little bit of movement and running a combination of a 3-man or 2-man Geordie. And as we say that, Pearl Jam get another down. So, you know, they're really turning the screws on now, taking away any opportunity from full send and then turning the screws at the other end.
George Devin Burgess faking there off to Dan. Dan seeing the hole and just sliding under.
And a good down is that. I thought the defender could have moved forward to take away and get in that channel a little bit, just take away the option of the line.
So full circle as you said. Mecca dropping right onto that 7 again.
Yeah, it just gives them what happens if you drop onto that 7? It gives you a one release attack and it's very single phased. So if they, you know, come back to a 10, it'll just give them the option of having a 2-pronged attack.
Lewis Nickel, easy coverage, no real threat there. Just managed all to stay man. Here we go, they look a little bit further out.
Going down to a 33. 33 peel there, and, you know, just looking for that short. Again, their range, because they're playing on the 7, and then they're taking away their attacking range. It just doesn't give them a release. Latching. I do like the latch and look, Rod. They just got to make sure they get on body with that.
Yeah. I guess that's the point of the latch, right? Is to make sure that you grab them and shift them sideways. So not quite working it. Just trying to try a little cheeky that time, Pearl Jam, which they are renowned for.
Yes.
Just sending a cheeky down the sideline. Didn't get away with that one.
And look at that transition. That's beautiful where they come on speed, and then that's the outcome. Beautiful, beautiful. Straight out of transition, you can see your 2 power middles coming on. They'll either run a 2-step pick, short pass release, or they'll do a speed power pick, and you've got enough on the ball there with Nate Rolliston and the Burgess boys that you've got speed on the ball. It's this one here where he powers through, gets there, 1-2 step, release, beautiful release. Real, that's accurate touch, Rod. Take my hat off to them.
It's skillful stuff, and those are the micro skills that you need.
Yeah. And then we're looking at our defensive end here, the agility. The young Puturangi boy is really impressing me. He's maybe a little bit hard in that there. He doesn't need to win it. And that's the outcome. With that there, I'd have to say he needed to control that, and what he tried to do, he tried to win it with power, and he actually didn't need it. Control and just slow it and set it. But there's, again, it's learning, and I love his intent. So he got over the top of his shoulders there. His shoulders got over the top of his hips. So that means that he's, unless he really dominates that, he's going to be caught on a release.
Yep, first down for Full Circle, the 16-minute mark. So hopefully that brings a little bit of confidence to them, knowing that they can score.
And I think for Full Circle, it's just going and getting some, to be honest. Game aside, score aside, I think if I was in the box there, I'd just say, young boys, let's just pick up the intent and the intensity. Let's just go and get some. You've got nothing to lose here and everything to gain. The experience of what you're going to get. Oh, that's a lovely tips play. I would have wrapped that one myself, but anyway, that was sleight of hand there. So he steps back, throws the short, tips is there, and then you've got the over the mismatch or the 3v2. But again, Lewis Nicol, as we say, very, very good in terms of IQ.
Yeah, that's a much better start to a transition. From
Full circle, and even back in,
now we've got a little bit of speed on.
Yeah, and that's and that's way better. That's getting some.
There it is. Play him again. Play him.
Yeah, so that was a much better step from Full Circle. They went through the field with intent, just a little bit of maybe lost comms in terms of touch count, but interesting in our game, Rod. Now I'll turn it to improvements for Pearl Jam. We still have the idea that we're getting that point defender. We're coming to our exit and we're still looking at a point defender rather than dominating a gate or two defenders.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. We sometimes lock ourselves into a system where the system can actually be detrimental to the higher outcomes, and I mean as you move up your levels. But interesting. Back end, Nate Rolliston, as I said in the earlier one, speed. So off the deck, he's lethal. Very, very good. And it works for him both defensively and offensively. So it makes him, a bit of an all-rounder in terms of what his value both ends. And when we're, at the higher honours, and I'm talking about New Zealand, we have to start looking at what they bring both ends in terms of the value to any setup. Great hold there by our link, the Burgess boy. Great hold. Didn't lift too high, but he lifted hard enough to, support his middle in terms of not defining any space. Really good.
See, that's a bit better from Pearl Jam there. It's a good first down spot.
And if I'm looking at Pearl Jam, I'd just be looking for clean consistency. As much as the score is 6-1, it certainly has been clunky at times. All I'd be looking for is the tidiness as a coach. So when they're getting into the bigger games today, and I'm not saying this game isn't big for them, but they can fall back on that.
Nice late there. Let's turn it back in. Whakaro to Lewis. Lewis on from there.
He's been quite lethal for the Pearl Jam side today, Lewis. He brings something extra. We look at our athletes nowadays and it's all about their physicality, and I think the part that we miss is sometimes the prowess of the IQ and technicalities of the game and what we bring. In saying that, imagine the athlete, he could be at the highest level, and I think that's what we need from Lewis. So we need him to be at the highest level, and we need the best Lewis that we can have for our country to be successful. Not that one player is gonna to beat the best in the world, but certainly if we use that as a mantra of getting everyone the best they can be, we've got to be better off.
And it's the IQ that gets passed along down the line as well, as you see Pearl Jam now 7-1 up, 5 to go. Certainly in charge here.
Yeah. I just like to see them tidy up their system, even their rucks. They can decrease in their intensity, but increase in their effort areas in terms of accuracy. And as I say that, we lose one at the ruck. I think they just need to tidy up that accuracy, and it's something that at every level, that's easy work on, as we would say, the 1%ers. And our ruck in our game is something that we, as a country, certainly need to tidy. We're high, we're slow, and we're late to ground. Yeah, but
as you see, full circle, they're just in the attack, moving it laterally, but not really taking any defender with them. So Pearl Jam not really having to work too hard defensively there.
Yeah. I like a Geordie setup, but it certainly needs to be in a better zone that you're going to give yourself two sides as an option of that Geordie setup. And for those that don't know, the Geordie's a 3-2 play in going live, and then Pearl Jam will just go back to a 32 pick going to a half passive, and there's no lift from the outside. Good on Pearl Jam. So they've come to the big stage. They are the top dogs in this arena at the moment. Their form from Auckland has been good. And they need to start setting standards, and I think 8 is a standard. I'd be a little bit worried about the ruck errors, but they're certainly putting a statement on here on.
Yeah, and I did talk with Tama Hawken earlier just about doing the basics, but doing the basics right in terms of their play selection and the rest of it, and making sure that they execute and they get an end on it. So they're starting to work through that at the moment. Although, as you said, a little clunky at times, but they're certainly starting to build to a nice end to the day. I think that one there might have been offside, I think, Pete?
I think the intent there was him to take away the range. He's very aggressive defensively. Which is good, I think just the connection defensively there, he comes there, he steps back there, he's short of the line, so I do agree with the call, but the link did make the touch, so I would have gone to a penalty to myself. I'm not the ref, however, and the ref is the ref, so we play with that, but yeah, the Burgess boy is very aggressive when it comes to that defence stuff, which is great, I love it. The range of it, however, maybe at the 8 or the 10 rod for me, not so much the 7,
Yep. Yeah. We see Pearl Jam just get picked off there. They're looking just to try and do a little sinker over the top. That's a third time I think I've seen that picked off, so they'll have to adjust on that.
I just think Full Circle just need to define a ruck at the back end, in terms of their platform. I'd get away from the narrow middle, because then they're just going to the physicality. Maybe open it up in a 32 pick, everyone running holes and with a bit of power.
Let's see what Pearl Jam can do here. Nate Rollinson on the ball. How quick is he?
They put on quite a tight zone defence, Full Circle there, so he didn't really get the power pick he wanted, so that's good.
Yeah, Tamaro Kare for Full Circle, just holding his line and managing to diffuse the Rollinson situation. As you see,
it's narrow again, right? Good call, ref. Good call.
Yeah, I think Lewis just got caught a little bit aggressive in that ruck. Never really found the recovery that he needed.
I think he should have just played the body just a little bit more on Lewis there. Oh yes.
Yeah, possibly still thinking about that that initial indiscretion and didn't give out. Although I thought there that the winger maybe could have stepped in a little bit more and just helped him out.
Yeah, I agree. So, you know, interesting the intricacies that we talk about. If a link's going to defend, he's got to have support from his winger, you know. So I have a mantra that, you know, the only person that's going to get scored on is the person next to you. And if that is the mantra, then the only place you're going to get scored on is on the outside. So the winger should have supported there. But a convincing win from Pearl Jam. So and gives them space to move and obviously progress and get better. To full circle, congratulations for picking up and getting on the big stage, and now you know where the mark is and what you have to do to, you know, to be better than the best, Rod.
Absolutely. That brings to the end, the end of Game 7. Pearl Jam 8-3. They'll march on through to the later on in the pool, but we certainly expect to see them come semi-time. Certainly very interesting times for them. It'll be interesting to see what Joel Foster dreams up out of that one. Certainly looking forward to the next game, Open Women's Legacy versus Full Send. So effectively Hamilton v Whanganui, and a lot of those Whanganui girls, they're on the scene a lot more now.
Yes,
certainly
right.
on the ascent. And it's great to see them here. So 1:35, that'll be back. Open Women's Legacy Full Send. We'll be right back at you.
Kia ora whanau.